Elaine Jones placed you at Weatherfield General on the exact same day, at the exact same time that you just so happened to be there. That's an extraordinary coincidence, isn't it?
She must have caught sight of me. I don't know.
Well, let's stop the pretense, shall we, Mr. Metcalfe? After your little visit to the hospital, Elaine Jones changed her mind about giving evidence. That's just a fact. Because you bullied her into withdrawing. That's also a fact, isn't it?
No. I'd no need to. I could have told you she would back out. She always was flaky. Used to change her mind on a sixpence. Drove me to Lally.
Yes, we've heard all about that from your ex-wife and from Yasmeen Metcalfe. About your impatience with them, your attempts to control them.
Good luck to anyone trying to control that pair.
But Elaine let you down, though, didn't she? Agreeing to give evidence after you'd ordered her not to. Well, you had to put a stop to that, didn't you?
No.
Now, she has vividly described your efforts to intimidate her at the hospital to this court. We have all just watched your ham-fisted attempt to disguise that intimidation. Going to the hospital was an enormous risk, but you had to take it, didn't you? Because you couldn't bear the thought that Elaine Jones might dare defy you. Is that not right?
No. And you can stand there saying it till you're blue in the face, but won't make it so.
You enjoy frightening women, don't you, Mr. Metcalfe? Gives you a sense of power and validation, because you are a weak man and it is the only way that you can feel strong. Is that not right?
You can't say that to me. I am the victim here.
Yet everything we have heard in this courtroom over the last 2 days says otherwise. It says that for months now, the real victim here is that woman sat in the dock. Does it not?
Oh, give over, will you? Oh, she'd love you to believe that, but she's playing you like a two-bob banjo, just like she did me. Let me put you straight. I did my best for her and the other one. Tried to turn them into something to be proud of, but they would not have it. Oh, they always knew better.
Strong women tend to have opinions, Mr. Metcalfe. But you couldn't endure that, could you? So you had to break them down. But you knew it would take time. Because you've learned the lesson of the boiling frog well.
Boiling frog? What are you talking about, man?
You place a frog in scalding hot water and it'll just hop out. You place a frog in tepid water and you turn up the heat. Little by little, you'll boil that frog alive. And that's exactly what you did to Elaine Jones and Yasmeen Metcalfe, isn't it?
Only in your head.
You took two confident women. You won their love, and then day by day, you chipped away at their self-esteem and bullied them mercilessly until they lived in terror of you. Is that not right?
No, it is not.
You enjoyed seeing Elaine frightened at the hospital, didn't you? Just as you enjoyed tormenting Yasmeen with the bread knife on the night that you were injured. Is that not right?
No.
You took sadistic pleasure in seeing your wife on her knees, pleading, begging, broken. The independence of mind and spirit that you so despised, fully drained out of her by your actions. You finally thought you'd beaten her, didn't you?
She was beaten before we started. She beat her flaming self. She really thought she was something. But let me tell you something, sunshine. She was nothing from the off. Useless. In the kitchen, in the bedroom. That's why her first husband was knocking off her best mate for years. Couldn't wait to get away because he was so miserable at home with his so-called wife. Not that she blamed herself. No, she never did. But I made her take a good hard look in the mirror, and it's not my fault that she didn't like that pathetic excuse for a woman that she saw.
No more questions, Your Honor.
We've heard much unsavory evidence. But whatever Jeff Metcalfe's alleged personal deficiencies, your duty is to decide beyond a reasonable doubt whether Yasmeen Metcalfe attempted to kill him on the night of April 13th.
Yasmeen Metcalfe is a pillar of her community who has been traduced as a feckless alcoholic, unrecognizable to her family and friends.
She has freely admitted stabbing him with the jagged neck of a wine bottle she'd smashed across his head.
But perhaps the biggest disjunction is that of the Jeffrey Metcalfe known to his family and friends, and the man his wife came to know and fear.
My learned friend will probably try to tell you this vicious assault was essentially an act of self-defense because she feared her husband was going to stab her with a bread knife. Yet, Yasmeen Metcalfe cannot say for certain if the knife was even in her husband's hand.
So much of this happened behind the closed doors of number 6 Coronation Street. Behind those doors, Jeffrey Metcalfe waged a campaign of systematic degradation against his wife. These are not the actions of a loving husband. These are the manipulations of a monster. Up to and including the threatening gestures he made with the bread knife on the night of the attack. In that moment, she feared for her life, and she sought to defend herself by any means necessary.
You would thus be invited to acquit Yasmeen Metcalfe, to justify a brutal, sustained attack on the grounds that her husband happened to be in the vicinity of a kitchen knife while standing in his own kitchen.
I didn't think they'd be back so fast. How can they make them out so quick?
I think it's a good sign myself. You know what they say, the truth will out.
Yeah, says the woman who was wrongly imprisoned for 4 months. Wish I had your confidence.
Would the defendant please stand?
Will the foreman of the jury please stand? Do you find the accused, Yasmeen Metcalfe, guilty or not guilty of the attempted murder of Jeffrey Metcalfe?
Not guilty.
And is that the verdict of you all?
It is.
Then you're soft in the head, the lot of you!
Silence! Silence, or I will have you removed.
Don't worry, Your Honour. I'm removing myself. This whole thing is a farce!
Thank you, members of the jury. Mrs. Metcalfe. Mrs. Metcalfe, you are free to go.
Blimey, I was about to give up on you. What do you fancy for your tea?
What? Well, get away from her!
Don't you think you've caused enough trouble? Come on, we can talk about it in the car. Look, I'm on a meter. I don't want to be charged for another hour.
No.
You're going to leave the lift home, you daft mare.
Oi!
Hello, the gang's all here.
You don't get lost right now, I'm going to have you arrested.
For what? Trying to collect my missus? She's coming home with me.
No! You're finished here.
You heard. Do one.
She's still my wife. Nothing they said in there changes a thing, sunshine. Nothing.
Are you okay?
He's never gonna let me go, is he? He'll always be there. I'll never be free.
You can be. It's not going to be easy, but you can be. You okay?
I think I might be, yes.
Can I help you, madam?
Yes, I'd like to make a formal complaint against my husband.
Christine, it's me. Yeah, listen. Drop whatever you're doing, grab the nearest suitcase and start packing. I'm booking 2 tickets for Cyprus. One way. Yeah, I know. But what's keeping us here, really? We can shake the dust of this lousy country off our feet and get away like I talked about. Well, I've got a couple of things to sort, but as soon as possible, I reckon. No. Nothing for you to worry about, love. Just tying up some loose ends. Yeah, unfinished business, you might say. Speak to you later. Right, love?